Alright, despite Friday being a terrible night to upload videos on YouTube, we're putting this one out because it is the current weekly pack, so there's not much time left to actually play this. And I really wanted to upload a video showing a counter to one of the most popular strategies you can see in this pack. And that is the Amami Rabbit. So Amami Rabbit is a tier 3, and at start of battle it gains a permanent attack and then jump attacks the opponent. So you can see on the opposing team here they have the purple rabbit, and it was only a 3-3 stat line there, I think. So it gained +1 attack, and then it jump attacked my guinea pig, which was my highest attack unit. Now, a lot of people are running this pet this weekly. I don't know if that's because they think it's the best option or because maybe they need the achievement for it. I don't know. It definitely is fairly effective against a lot of the stuff in this pack, but there are options to counter it, and I wanted to focus on them in a video before this week is over. So that's what we're going to do for this first run, and then we'll show some extra clips at the end. There will also be a second run from this weekly that I thought was quite amusing. As we find on turn 7, the pet that is going to destroy the Amami Rabbit, which is the Doberman. Now, Doberman has a pretty unique ability. It gains coconut when it is the lowest tier unit on the team, which means it will never work if you have any other tier 4s or below. So we have to try and pivot into a team of all tier 5s and 6s plus the Doberman. And because of that, I'm going to buy the can I see in the shop there. Might as well go for the level up on the Doberman. I think here I had the guinea pig and the I'm going for the level 3 blue dragon because I was intending on playing Jersey Devil. That's not really necessary to get this team going. It's just that if Jersey Devil's in a pack, I do tend to have a habit of gravitating towards it. So level up on the Doberman. We don't really need a level 3 Doberman, but you know, it's fun to get level 3 pets in your team. So we're going to freeze up both the isopod and the boar, because next turn we can just sell everything. Actually, we probably could have sold everything last turn, but looks like we're going to wait one turn longer. Maybe we could find another can or another vanilla bean in the shop. And we actually win despite greeding, so that's great. But now I think it's time to sell this stuff, or maybe we could sell the guinea pig and then go for level 2 isopod or boar. Yeah, we'll get the free chocolate from the Cyclops before we sell it. And we actually get another boar. So the only thing I really need now is one last tier 6 or 5, and then we need cherry for the isopod because its ability gets upgraded if you can spend 2 trumpets. So you can see how this is going to work. The Doberman with churros gains coconut first at start of battle. Doesn't matter what the attack is on the Amami Rabbit. And then that will cause the Doberman to be the highest attack unit on my team, and basically guarantee that the Amami Rabbit crashes into it and takes the full damage of the attack, because we have coconut and they don't. Now, the one drawback of trying to record a run like this is when the matchmaking is refusing to give you any Amami Rabbits. Now, this must be one of the most common builds, or most common pets in this weekly, and yet somehow we've just gone 3 or 4 turns without seeing one. We get the level 3, and then we get the cherry for the upgraded isopod ability, and another turn with no rabbit. What does that say? Does that mean that the people who are taking Amami Rabbit are not getting to turn 12 with 3 or 4 hearts intact? I don't know, but it is a tie. So we do get another opportunity to try and find a rabbit to destroy here. Kind of funny having the triple boar, and yeah, definitely freeze the starfruit, which is the best way to get good equipment in this pack. Other than coconut, of course, there are a lot of coconut units, but Doberman is especially good for this because it works at start of battle. I guess you can do this also with Wildebeest, but it's slightly more difficult to set up, and of course it doesn't have the automatic stat gain that Doberman does. So we get a melon for one of the boar. Now, oh yeah, we do get the level up as well. Not sure why I rolled down there, and I really should have bought the chocolate instead of the boar. But finally on turn 14 we face a 43 attack Amami Rabbit, which destroys itself against the coconut. They actually get Hawk, which instant kills the 1 HP Doberman. But we've got level 2 Boar and 2 level 1s in reserve. And even with the Wolverine health reduction, it's not going to be good enough. So yeah, we only got to face one serious Amami Rabbit team in that battle, and as we actually get the giant isopod ribbon. But we can have a look at some clips of the same combo working in other battles. So here the Doberman double kills the 2 jump attackers at the start of battle. Yeah, because the Darwin's Fox auto targets it after after the Amami Rabbit was knocked out. This one actually hangs on with 1 HP, which is a little bit annoying, but I still think we're going to end up winning. It's actually quite fun using Woodpecker here to deliberately hurt the teammates and therefore trigger the Wolverine. I haven't seen too many people doing that. Here's another Amami Rabbit with Darwin's Fox combo. Again, the rabbit self-destructs and the Darwin's Fox almost follows suit. But I think because they had the boosted stats from the giant otter, we are going to be able to clean up their team. Yep. Okay, looks like we're going to watch a few more rounds here. I guess this is probably because I end up facing multiple Amami Rabbits in a row. I guess I preferred the first team that had the triple boar. But yeah, we do face multiple Amami Rabbits. This one just isn't very impressive. It's only an 8-6 stat line. Probably means that person was hard rolling for Amami Rabbit and got it way too late. So I think this is 3 in a row, but then after that it's maybe 3 or 4 turns and I don't see any rabbits at all. Yeah, here we go. Another one with the pancakes plus giant otter. It got up to quite a big size there, but then the team looks extremely weak once the rabbit has fainted and the giant otter stats are retracted. And we win again. Now I did go on to win this game, but yeah, we'll skip to the end and you can see that the final opponent, there were no more Amami Rabbits after that point. So I wanted just to show this final battle so that you get closure on this run, but unfortunately it wasn't the opponent that I wanted. It's actually Tepalus, who I think has commented on a few videos. I don't play the weekly too often, so opportunity for them to appear in a run when they probably haven't seen themselves as an opponent for quite some time. So moving on to some of the other stuff you can do in this pack. Abomination is present, and there are quite a few fun combos you can make with it. I think this is another game where I was setting up to play Jersey Devil, which is why we've got the Cyclops, and we're keeping the tier 2s, trying to get them leveled up in order to sell for the Jersey Devil. But I think in this game, again, we're not going to end up doing that. We're just going to keep the Abomination team. Once you get Abomination leveled up, it is really fun just kind of shopping for units to put inside every turn. It's really like a different take on the game. I think there probably is scope to make some more units like this. I guess the new Condor in Danger Pack is kind of similar. It just is a bit more limited because you have to transform into the unit, whereas Abomination just gets the choice of whatever you want in the shop. And there is Stonefish there, but it looks like I'm going to pass it up. I guess I'm just looking for the level up initially. We take the Brahma chicken, which I don't think is going to do anything. I suppose actually it could technically do something if a pet behind survived a jump attack, but yeah, this opposing Brahma chicken has the right idea with the scaled up Tasmanian Devil. Double Can, which I pass up, I guess purely because I'm looking for the level ups. But we do still feed the Abomination, so I guess that kind of illustrates, yeah, we really just want to see the Abomination do some unusual stuff. We get the Abomination level plus another chocolate. So that probably means the crab is going to have to stay. Because I think if I just sell the crab now, you know, it's going to be GG. And we're starting to face stronger teams. Like this one, which initially looked relatively weak, but it is going to beat us in the end. The double 1 HP survivor. Abomination level 2. So now we can start getting creative and mixing and matching the different pets. I think taking the Philippine eagle there would make a lot of sense. Now I think here I consider for a while taking all 3 coconut crabs. You can actually use a trick very similar to beluga whale, whereby if the Abomination swallows a linked pet, the other one gets left behind. So we can actually freeze these tier 6s, and we'll keep all of the coconut crabs, even though one of them is linked to the bay cat. So you can see it happen here. The Abomination is going to swallow the bay cat and the Philippine eagle, and we keep all 3 crabs for a level up next turn. But I think, if I remember rightly, I give up on that idea, because then I would have to pay extra gold to gain coconut on the crabs on any subsequent turns. There is Farmer Pig in this weekly, but I think it's probably too late for that at this stage. You probably have to have it online level 2 by the time you get to this point if you're going to actually make a run with coconut crab. Unless you're just planning on feeding it twice every turn, whereas here we're going to spend our gold looking for units for the Abomination to swallow. And yeah, of course I put the Taki up front so that it would trigger the Philippine eagle, but you can also just take Philippine eagle if you don't have any jumpers, because plenty of opposing teams are going to have a Mami Rabbit, Tasmanian Devil, and Darwin's Fox. There's actually White Truffle in this pack as well, so there's a pretty solid chance of running into a jump opponent. So we'll take Tasmanian Devil, Boar, and Wolverine there. Don't really have the greatest Wolverine team here, and it's a huge Bison opponent, but hopefully we're going to be able to chip them down here with the high health on the crab. Yeah, the Wolverine reduces their last remaining stats, and it's actually a fairly comfortable win. You would have thought that would have been difficult for the 4 squad to overcome that opponent there, but it is a victory. Okay, Porcupine. Now you can't take duplicates of the same pet with Abomination. They all have to be different. So even if we had the 2 porcupines in shop, it would just skip over one of them automatically. I don't want the Amami Rabbit there in case the Abomination just KOs itself and we miss out on the other abilities. We could take Tapir here, yeah. Because it's a 4 squad, that works out perfectly. So we'll actually get a copy of the Amphisbaena. I hope that's the correct pronunciation. I suppose I could have moved the Taki to get an extra one, but we didn't swallow any of the summon support, I don't think. So it wouldn't have made a lot of sense. We'll just take the extra 10/10 unit. The crab hangs on just. And I think here the pepper that we bought last turn on the Amphisbaena actually helped. Was crucial there in surviving the boar. Maybe we had a summon left anyway. I can't remember exactly what the Abomination swallowed. And there we go. There's a fairly atypical looking 4 squad win on turn 13. Now we are going to look at some extra clips that other people have sent me in this weekly. So here's one from Nerd Birdo. This is a similar idea where it's Abomination swallowing boar and wildebeest. I think that is definitely something that I haven't used that often. You know, trying to combo 2 before attack units inside Abomination. I'm sure there are plenty of infected player videos showing stuff like that, but it's not something I've used myself. And yeah, it worked pretty well in this run. Coconut plus the stat gain is pretty nice. And then here's one from Andy Nomis, showing the jump attackers with Brahma Chicken taken to the extreme. Now I did record a run of this myself, but that wasn't what I was trying to get in the weekly, so I haven't included it here. But yeah, with Whale you can duplicate the Brahma Chicken effect. And if you were lucky enough, you could also get Mushroom from Starfruit. But as you can see here, the Amami Rabbit's attack is already maxed out, so it probably would have been overkill. Alright, and then another submission here from Nargit89. I hope that's the right pronunciation on that one. And this is a turn 1 tier 2 in this weekly. Darwin's Fox, one of my favourite tier 2s. Pretty tough for it to eke out a draw in turn 1. I guess it could be possible if they had 3 ducklings. But if we scroll down all the way, you can see the Darwin's Fox is kept every single turn. And we can look at the final battle here, where it's a nice synergistic jump team with actually Cocoa Bean there. Allows the Tasmanian Devil to become a copy of the Porcupine. And then the Boar level 2 just goes absolutely ham with Chili. So actually this is a pretty lucky Starfruit run, it seems like. Kind of a shame that the Darwin's Fox got turned into a Pied Tamarin, but they did actually gain 1 Trumpet. So it would have worked if the other team had had any pets left. And then we'll look at a couple more clips from my play sessions. This one, again, probably I think I was setting up for Jersey Devil here. We've got the Whale as well, so maybe I was going for Brahma Chicken here, I don't know. Opposing double Amami Rabbit. It's funny I didn't face any of them when I had the Doberman. You could actually see a bit of a visual glitch there with Darwin's Fox. And we're just going to keep feeding it up. And here's the reason why I wanted to show this one, because we get the Sloth. And I think I'm just going to sell the Questing Beast and let the Excalibur toy start buffing the Sloth. I guess it's a bit greedy to keep the Cyclops, but that would give us an extra chocolate if we were somehow able to survive here. And actually I think we're going to win this turn. Whale's been changed so that it always remembers the stats of the unit it swallowed, so the Taki doesn't come out with base stats anymore. And I think, yeah, I just take the White Truffle and the Sloth just so that it can get involved. Also thinking about the double Jackal here. You can trigger Jackal in this weekly using Yggdrasil fruit from Starfruit, or you could also get Sheep, I think. Just put Sheep at the front, or Sheep with Whale, and it would work perfectly. Here's a triple coconut team. The Sloth does remove one of the coconuts, so he did try his best, but clearly their squad is a bit too strong for us. Another double Jackal there, actually. So we get the Philippine Eagle. I guess that makes sense why I put the White Truffle and the Sloth, because I knew that I was looking for jump support, given that we've already got Darwin's Fox and Taki. So technically we could get 5 jumps here if we were lucky. Amami Rabbit attacks the Whale, but the Whale's ability still goes off. And then the Darwin's Fox goes nuts doing a bunch of jump attacks. And then incredibly it's a tie. I was absolutely shocked there that we survived any longer. And I think I do end up taking the White Truffle and the Whale here just for a bit of comedy factor. I think that gives us a pretty strong chance of there being nothing left for the Philippine Eagle to buff. But unfortunately on turn 14 we face level 3 Silverfish plus 4 Bison, so the Sloth run comes to an end. One exciting round though, so can't be too mad. And then lastly I've got this one. This is another one that I thought I'd come up with a pretty clever idea here. But unfortunately Raccoon with White Truffle doesn't work, which is why it was at the front. Maybe that'll get fixed in a future update. But I still thought this was a funny final round where we had loads of jumps from the Darwin's Foxes, and then one of them becomes a Farmer Mouse at the very end. Yeah, obviously the idea would have been to have the Raccoon further back and then have it steal Coconut when it jump attacks, but I tried it in a previous turn and it just didn't work. So I think we could put the Taki up front here, yeah. That means that the Philippine Eagle gets an extra jump trigger, plus the White Truffle should go off. And then it's another Bison team. The Raccoon does knock itself out, and you can see that it doesn't steal the Cucumber, confirming that, yeah, that is bugged. But it is a really nice, satisfying sequence of jumps, and we get another victory. So I think a lot of fun to be had in the current weekly with the various jump combos available. Let me know in the comments if there's a fun one that you've tried this week that I haven't mentioned.